That blew my mind. That just was like a red flag. Brought fear to my heart because I have children. I have a son and 2 daughters. So it's just like
Simply Michelle, Simply Michelle. You're watching her on YouTube, and you know she got a vibe for me. She got a vibe for you.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I feel like this video is way overdue. You guys can tell by the title of the video, I'm going to be giving you a little bit of tea on what it's like living in the South. I'm repping New York to the day that I die, but I moved to Charlotte almost 3 years ago. I just want to give you guys some pros and some cons if you are even thinking or considering moving to the South. This is just my personal experience. Feel free to chime in to, list some things that you may have noticed living in the South. But this is my experience, okay? I'm going to give you like my top 10 things that I've experienced and what I've observed from living in the South compared to what it's like living up north. First thing on my list that I'm going to say, don't have patience. Just don't move here because the traffic is different, okay? I heard the traffic is insane in Atlanta. I've also heard it's crazy in Texas. But baby, Charlotte is right there with it. The I-77 and 485 be crazy. Even in the South, you get a lot more space. You get more lanes and you get more speed. The speed down here is like 70 miles per hour. Just depends on where you at. They be gunning out here, okay? So if you have to go to work, if you gotta go to school, whatever the case, you better give yourself some time because you're gonna be sitting in some traffic for a good minute. And it's like bumper to bumper. Now, if you go to New York City, it can get crazy when you go to 42nd Street. There's nothing like in the South. I feel like personally, it's just a lot going on and too many people. They can't drive out here. I said what I said. I consider myself a very good driver. I consider myself very cautious and very defensive. I feel like down here, they have no consideration. They're not mindful. And y'all know this is a NASCAR state. So, baby, they be out with no sense. No sense at all. So there's constantly wrecks. That's what they call them. Where I come from, we call them, you got into a car accident. Down here in the South, they call them wrecks. Every single day, I kid you not, there is a wreck. In the same particular areas, cars smashed up, banged up, because they drive like they ain't got no damn sense. They don't even know what a blinker is. It's mind-boggling. Once you learn how to drive, it's common sense to put your blinker on and let the car behind you know what you're doing. Last minute turn, they just think they can turn in any type of way. It's crazy down here. The thing that I noticed that's different out here, which is good and is bad, they have sheriffs down here. Of course, we have sergeants up north where we come from, right? You have lieutenants, you have sergeants. They got them sheriffs down here, okay? Sheriffs. That's all I've been seeing, the sheriffs. But one thing that I did observe being down here, they be low key. Where I come from, there's usually police everywhere. You can visibly see them throughout the day. I'm outside most of my time. I rarely see a lot of police activity, to be honest. They're not really out here like that unless they're doing like a stop or, there's an incident or whatever the case. But for me being out here almost 3 years, I don't be seeing them like that. But when I see them, I see them sheriffs with the little hats. They be rocking their little hats. Next up, we're going to talk about the school system. I grew up in New York. Most of my teachers were predominantly Caucasian. Now, I don't see color, I don't see shade, none of that. In the South, there's predominantly people of color down here. I personally feel like the school systems are failing our children. The elementary schools, the middle schools, the high schools are, to me, in my own experience, trash. I feel like the teachers show no interest in the kids. My children have come home multiple times complaining about how the teachers speak to them, how they cuss, how they disrespect them. And to be honest, I don't feel like I have actually had any type of real communication with these teachers to build a relationship to really know how my kids are doing. A lot of stuff is basically off of an app that you can look on. They don't send papers home in the book bags like we used to get growing up. And I'm so used to lunch, the menu on the refrigerator, updates, things that are going on. I check the book bag. They don't have that. Everything is mostly on the app. Technology has taken over. Personally, do not like the school systems. I feel like my children are not really getting education like they did back home. And I definitely seen a decline in my son's education. I don't feel like he's where he should be. I just feel like the teachers just don't care about the kids. They just go for a check. I feel like they have no choice but to, because they're understaffed, underpaid, and they just got to show up because they need to pay the bills. That's for the basic schools. Now, the universities out here are really good. There's Duke, you have A&T, and then you have UNC, and I'm sure I missed many more, but those are the ones that I have seen. We are not going to discredit those schools because those are excellent colleges. I really have been thinking about the homeschooling process for my youngest because I just don't feel like he's thriving. You know what I mean? And I feel like I could do a better job than what I'm seeing if that makes sense. Definitely wish that I would have known that and did more research when it came to the school systems. So I'm very disappointed. I did not expect it. I felt like it would be a better feel being out here with, people of color, but I find that there's so much violence in these schools nowadays, the fighting, the drugs, a lot of things that I've never experienced. There's like, my kids got to go through a detector before they go into the school. The transportation is horrible. The bus drivers are very rude. The list can go on and on with that. If you are not ready for all 4 seasons in a day, then you might want to rethink this. Living in Charlotte, okay, you will experience 4 different seasons in a day. It's very, very humid here, which I don't really mind the humidity or the heat. That's one of the reasons why I moved here. I don't like the cold. Y'all can keep that back up north. We don't want none of that. It will be cold 1 minute. It will start raining the next. Then the sun will come out. And it will feel like it's going to start sleeting. All 4 in one day. So you may have a hoodie on in the morning. By the afternoon, you're going to have your dress on. And then later on, you might want to grab your umbrella. It's usually super warm here all the time. You're not going to experience any winter like back home if you're from up north. How we get blizzards and we have plows. There's no plows. There's none of that, honey. You're not going to get snow. You may get a little bit of ice, a little bit of frost and all of that. But since I've been here, I have not seen a winter wonderland. And I do miss sleigh riding because where we come from, we tube. We go tubing. My kids go sleigh riding. I have not had to buy a sled. I haven't had to throw on my Timbs. No, I didn't throw the Constructs on. I haven't needed a snorkel, a Montclair, nothing. Honestly, a light jacket and a hoodie and call it a day. So you're not going to experience that. So if you're looking for some type of cold or some snow, you're not going to get it. And one thing that I will tell you is that if you get a little bit of this that I'm talking about, everything's going to get shut down. So you better get your bread, your butter, your water, your cheese, your necessities, your ramen noodles, because they're going to clear the shelves and everything gets shut down. The schools closed down here over nothing. They can say that we may possibly get a storm, lights may go out and flicker. School's closed. My kids last year missed more days than they attended. School closed for what? Because ain't nothing happened. Let's talk about the food, because I know that's what y'all want to know about. I consider New York having the best pizza. I said what I said. New York has the best slice there is, as well as the Chinese food. Now, down here in the South, I have to get adjusted. There is a variety of places to eat. That's one of the reasons why I love living in the South, because whatever your taste buds are craving, you're going to be able to get it down here. Variety of different foods down here. But one thing that I observed that people down here absolutely love, they go crazy for, it's a popular thing, is Bojangles. Now, up top where I come from, it was Kennedy Fried Chicken. Get you some chicken, some fries, get you a little sweet potato pie, whatever. They love them some Bojangles. Now, I'm not going to lie, Bojangles slaps, okay? They got them, the Cajun biscuits. The chicken is something about the season on the chicken. It slaps, but they loves it. I don't consider it like the best. I'll get it like occasionally, but they love Bojangles and they love them some Zaxby's. Ask me if I'm going to eat Zaxby's. Absolutely not. They're also known for their barbecue out here, right? And seafood boils. Like, that's everywhere. But barbecue is like a known thing out here as well. I'm not going to lie. One of my favorite spots out here that I absolutely love since moving here is called Cookout. Yes, it's called Cookout. When I tell you that burger slap, you think Burger King hits and Whataburger and all them other places? No. Cookout hits and it stays open super late. And they got them little cheese bites. You're going to get you a little platter for a nice deal. You're going to get your bang for your buck and it slaps, okay? But one thing I'm going to tell you that you're going to be disappointed about is that if you love you some Chinese food, don't do it. Closest thing that you really going to get is Panda Express. That's mid to me. That's just making the cut. Just to fulfill my void of not having Chinese food. The Chinese food is trash. It does not give out here. I don't care what anybody says. It is not giving. It does not give that mouth-watering taste. It just doesn't do it for me. But I will say, if you go to Publix, which is one of their grocery stores out here, get you a sub. When I tell you the subs is like, I'm not talking about Jersey Mike's. I'm talking about a Publix sub. I don't care if it's an Italian combo. My favorite is the chicken sub, okay? It's like fried chicken breast, seasoned to perfection, okay? And it's so moist inside. And then you get your little cheese, you add your lettuce, your tomato, whatever. Get you a sub from Publix. Thank me later. I promise you, it's something that I just it's on rotation for me. Y'all thinking moving down south, yeah, it's real cheap. I can get this, I can get that. Well, I'm here to tell you and let you know the economy has changed and the prices have skyrocketed. Everything is high. Okay. I thought the same thing when I moved down here. Now, granted, I am able to live a better, luxurious life than I was back home. Because back home, I was on Section 8. Okay. I was living in the trap houses. You already know how the slumlords do. You just making it, you know, the white refrigerators, paint chipping. Yeah, it was giving that bars on the window. So down here, I'm able to have more freedom, better environment. The floor plans are very nice, newly renovated. So you're going to be able to live in a nice area for a decent amount of money. To me, it's still costly, and I feel like it's still rising as time is going on. I do think that it is more affordable than New York, California, and all those other states. You definitely will be able to save something, but you're going to see that the rise is rising. But that's everywhere. But there's a store out here that I'm going to put y'all on to. Another grocery store. It's called Aldi's or Aldi's. It's almost like a Save-A-Lot. If you guys know, in New York, we had a store called Save-A-Lot. You can get everything you need for the low. You're going to get you a whole dinner for about $20. Okay. You can save something. So that's one of my favorite stores because they have nutritious stuff, gluten-free items, really good snacks, affordable juice, like a name brand stuff in there as well. Very, very good finds in Aldi. That's another way you could save money if you don't want to go to Publix or Food Lion. Those are other grocery stores that are kind of on the higher end, more so Publix. And of course, you have Trader Joe's and Whole Foods and stuff like that. If you come down here and you have multiple children or you're just trying to budget, you want to go to Aldi's. My heart is so sad because they have no delis whatsoever, okay? So there's no bacon, egg, and cheeses. I haven't eaten a bacon, egg, and cheese from a deli, a bodega, in about 3 years. I don't know what store I was in. I was like, can I get a bacon, egg, and cheese? And she was like, what? Looked at me like I had 3 heads. I was baffled. What you mean you don't know what a bacon, egg, and cheese is? They do have this one spot called Bagel and Ben. And I will say the sandwiches are fire, but not worth the price. Like for a basic bacon, egg, and cheese, salt, pepper, ketchup, it's like $15. What I do is I make it myself. I'll say it's a con, but it's not a deal breaker for me because I'm trying to stay away from dairy and eggs anyway. But once in a blue, you know, you get that itch, that taste, and nothing hits like a bacon, egg, and cheese. If you know, you know. This one is a little, you may want to rethink this. You can get a firearm out here. You do not need all of the extra particulars that you think you need. You can get you a little hammer and be all right. That blew my mind. That just was like a red flag. Brought fear to my heart because I have children. I have a son and 2 daughters. So it's just like, I worry about them as they grow up. I worry about their surroundings. Even me when I'm out and about, you never know what somebody's going through. You could be at the wrong place at the wrong time. Granted, that's everywhere. I feel like the fact that it's so legal and it's so free for anybody to just go get a firearm without needing to go through all the extra precautions and, you know, training and so on and so forth, it just makes me sad because that means that the crime rate is rising and I feel like it's a setup. Now, if you was to try to do that back home and go and get knocked, that's a felony. Y'all already know it. You're going down for having a hammer. I don't mess with bugs. The only bug that makes the cut is a ladybug. The bugs out here are different, okay? Now, there's bugs everywhere you go, but these bugs is different. They're big. Like, it's bugs that I ain't never seen. They're very unique. I don't even know what they're called, but they're just foreign bugs that I've never seen, and it's new to me and to my kids. So whenever I see something that's unusual, listen, I'm warning you. Not to mention, hold on, I got something better for you. They got these little lizard things, the little gecko things. Baby, they're everywhere. I adjusted to it. When I lived at my last apartment, one of them got in my house. I mean, they crawl everywhere. They crawl up all on the buildings, on the walls. They get into your house. You're going to have to get some powder or some spray to stop them, but they're entering. They're trespassing with no regard to your feelings or your fear. They're coming in. All different colors, shapes, sizes. They creep me out. They move hella fast, and they just pop up and pop out when they want to. Not to mention there's frogs. I don't do frogs. Don't like frogs. I will never like frogs. Whenever it rains here, they're all on the sidewalks. They'll pop out on you. They'll just pop out on you in the grass. They're literally little frogs, little toads, little baby ones, the big ones, the mama, the papa. They're everywhere. You may want to reconsider this. We all have different personalities, right? Some days are good, some days are bad. One thing that I notice about these people down here, they're passive aggressive. Not to mention that they slow as hell. They do everything slow. Could be a good thing because I feel like in my life, I need to slow things down. I'm from New York where we do everything fast. So coming down here was a very hard adjustment. The lines are ridiculous. They move like turtles. To get anything done is a process. It's never just a 1-2 hopping and skipping a jump. You're going to have to wait, in which makes you have to have patience. Even when you want to get your deli meats, they're slicing everything like this. The lines be from here out the door. They are unbothered. They are going to continue moving slow. And if they have a problem with you, they will not argue with you. Depends on who's here, because there's more people migrating here now from all different parts of the world. But I'm talking about the actual Southerners. They're very passive aggressive. If you don't know what that means, look it up. That drives me insane because I'm very direct. So if I have an issue with you, we're going to talk about it right then and there. We're not going to be weird about it. We're not going to act like we don't know what's going on. You're not going to dismiss me. And it's a little weird down here. I don't want to say everybody. I don't want to put everybody in a category. But some of these people, a lot of people are very weird out here. Very hard for me to find friendship because of, maybe it's the upbringing or whatever the case may be. And maybe we're just too different. It's weird. There is so much to do here as far as activities, as far as like being outdoors, hiking. There's lots of trails out here, a lot of greenery. If you like to hike, if you like to walk, yoga, they have like so much to do when it comes to being outdoors, which I can appreciate because I love nature. And so that's like perfect for me because the weather is always super nice. Nice places that you can go to uptown, which is very popular, where everybody tends to go to. South End area, as well as Noda. I've been there, where it's like a very diverse area. There's thrifting, there's like really nice restaurants, places to eat, really like modern, good vibes. Like downtown Noda area is really nice. They have like a lot of like shops here, cute little artsy stuff. Really beautiful town. I remember the last time I actually took a walk. Feels really good to just take a walk. It's like really quiet here, peaceful. I'm just enjoying like the scenery, honestly. You need to have a little money in your pocket, but it's worth it. And it's really nice to just meet up and like have a day out with friends. There's always something to do in Charlotte, which I absolutely love. Listen, if you want to go horseback riding, you're going to do it. Kayaking. I mean, all of the things that I've never experienced being back home, I can say that I've done out here. And there's so much that I have yet to see. So there are some cons, but you will adapt if you're willing to make that move for yourself. You know what I mean? We adapt in places regardless as people, if you have that type of mindset. So I knew I wanted to move here regardless of what I heard. I wanted to experience for myself. And although there are some cons, the pros I feel like outweigh the cons for me. Just because I'm in Charlotte now doesn't mean I need to stay in Charlotte. North Carolina is such a big state that it will blow your mind. There's so many other cities that you can live in that may be a little more settled, maybe more costly, but you may get that privacy and that quietness that you're looking for. Me in particular still wanted to be in the city part because I knew that it would be easy for me to get to where I wanted to get to. I wanted to really experience Charlotte for itself as a whole and not go off of what I heard. There's so much to do out here as far as like with your kids. That I will say there's always something to do. The nightlife, there's so many different lounges. The only cons to like the nightlife is that everything closes super early. Like a lot of stores and businesses back home, like New York City, the clubs close at like 4 o'clock. Here, everything closes. The clubs may close at like 2. Some places close, like regular stores may close at like 8, 9. You know what I mean? It's a little earlier, but that's not something that bothers me because I'm not really into that life. I feel like Charlotte has become very overpopulated, which is why there's so many people or things are so delayed, because everybody's just making their way to the south because they think that it's just this magnificent way of living. It's cost efficient. It's this, it's that. Way too many people. I feel like majority of the people that I have seen or even had any type of contact with, they're not even from here, like myself. I understand why people get frustrated and they're like, stop moving down to Charlotte because there's too many already. People are constantly moving here. And one thing that I do notice is that they're always building here. So there's room for everybody because they're always building. No matter where I'm driving, they're always building new properties, new complexes, building new homes. I mean, I've never seen so much construction in my entire life. Every single day. If they're not building, they're fixing the roads. Literally, it's a non-stop thing down here. There's always some type of movement when it comes to building. Coming from where I come from, this is my dream life, honestly. Like air, just the environment, it's so different. Like it's good to step out and try new things, but you just have to be ready for the uncomfortable things that you may experience. So used to living my life a certain way for so many years, I definitely did have to like adjust, and I'm still adjusting to certain things, but I'm okay with that. I'm just trying to give you like game early so that you can understand or just have more knowledge about like how it is down here if you're, coming from a different state. Another good thing about living here is the beaches. There's beautiful beaches like Wrightsville. I forgot the other ones, but I went there, and when I tell you it's off the coast, the water is like so clear. It's about a 3-hour ride, so It's gonna take you a while, but it's worth it. It's so beautiful there. They also have beautiful getaway spots here. That's one thing I'm gonna tell you. There is always a cute little getaway spot for you to go and just relax, and like there's so much to do. But yeah, so far this is what I've experienced. You guys, let me know if I missed something, and if you moved to Charlotte or any part of the South, let me know what are some cons that you have experienced and what are some pros. I'm gonna close the video out. I hope that you guys like this video. I had to give you an update because I've been here for a while. If you enjoyed, please give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing, and make sure you leave some comments so we can discuss. Love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next upload.
Simply Michelle.